Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from. This is my Chris Eubank Jr. first Conor Benn bottom preview, bottom predictions, tier 2. Obviously, the first tier was from 2 years ago, and obviously, we all know what happened there. The controversy, the bad blood is now, well, touch wood for the casual fans, it will come on. But there is still that thin lingering, isn't it, where it could still possibly be cancelled. But we have got the undercard fights as well, which we'll start off with. Starting off then with Chris Smith versus Brandon Jansen. Both got equal records, haven't they? 20 wins, 2 defeats for both of them. Brandon Jansen, more of the powerful puncher, you could say. More of the powerful puncher. Both of these fighters are definitely tough as well. Chris Smith, we all know he's got a tough chin on him as well. So I do think Brandon Johnson is quite a dangerous puncher. And I think Smith might actually take a few punches off him. While Chris Smith has got that toughness about him. I think Smith will be more the front-footed fighter. In this fight. And for Chris Smith, it's just all about, for me, it's just all about getting back to winning ways after that defeated Gilberto Ramirez. And who knows, after this, he may go straight into a world title shot. Then might be for the WBC world title, where that is a potential belt he can win, in my opinion. And yes, we will. I never thought Smith would be a world champion. I actually think he's overachieved in his career massively. I think he's overachieved massively in his career. When he was world champion, I never rated. I watched some of his performances and I'm thinking to myself, how's he a world champion? How's he a world champion? And but fair play to him, he's overachieved in his career. I do think Smith will get the win in this one. I think it's a real pit and fight for me. But I think Smith will get the win on points, in my opinion. I think he'll just edge it, in my opinion. It should be a good fight. I actually think it's an interesting fight, actually. Because Canton can punch as well. And he may catch Smith a few times. And Smith's got a tough chin as well. Up next, then, we've got Anthony Yarde versus Lyndon Arthur. This is the trilogy between the two of them. Lyndon Arthur won obviously, it was a split decision in the first fight between the two of them. Then Anthony Yarde did more of a destruction job on Lyndon Arthur in the rematch. And I don't mind it. I actually don't mind the trilogy. I actually don't mind it because people are giving it criticism, saying, "Oh, we don't need to see it then because of Anthony Yarde's obviously destructive victory in the second fight against Lyndon Arthur." But at the same time, there's still a story to settle between the two of them, and it's still a trilogy as well. And obviously, Anthony Yarde, then I think Anthony Yarde will be more the front-footed fight. He'll probably take more control of the fight. I think Lyndon Arthur will box on the back foot as well. And as much as Anthony Yarde did win by KO the last time both of them met, I do think it will go the distance this time, in my opinion. Because Anthony Yarde, in his most recent performances, hasn't been convincing, in my opinion. And of course, the Joshua Barassi fight is still being linked to Anthony Yarde. And I think if Anthony Yarde does win here, I think we will see that fight. We will finally see the Joshua Barassi Anthony Yarde fight, in my opinion. In my personal opinion. And I think Anthony Yarde gets the win on this one. I do think Anthony Yarde will win. I think Anthony Yarde will win on points against Lyndon Arthur. But again, I do think it will probably be a close fight, in my opinion. Because Lyndon Arthur did well. Obviously, he got easily beaten by Dimitri Bivol, but you should still be proud of yourself for going in against Dimitri Bivol. And I think he won 1 or 2 rounds against Bivol. obviously that is mediocrity, but for me, I think the loser of this fight will probably face Craig Richards, in my opinion, and the winner will probably face Joshua Buatsi, in my opinion. So, but yeah, I think Anthony Yarde will win on points. Up next, then we've got Fidel White versus Javon Clark for the British Cruiserweight title. And great fight. Great domestic fight. Clash of styles. Javon Clark, the front-footed fighter. Fidel White was the front-footed fighter in this last fight. And Stan Darber, even though that was at heavyweight. Because Fidel White was over the cruiserweight limit. But this time, after seeing that fight from Fidel White, it showed that he has got power, but we all know Fidel White for his swiftness and his movement and his spots and win IQ as well. That is what Fidel White is very good at in terms of his win IQ, his swiftness, his movement, the bottom move style that he's got as well. And when his opponent tries to land a punch on him, he's got good head movement as well. And but I think Javon Clark will probably have more power in the fight. Will definitely have more power. But I think Fidel White will box smart here. I think he's gonna have the right game plan to defeat Javon Clark. So I think Fidel White wins on points. I think Fidel White's win IQ is better than Javon Clark's, in my opinion. But it's all about can Javon Clark cut the win? Can he cut the win and stop Fidel White from using his win IQ? That's going to be key in the fight. But I think Fidel White will win on points. On to the co-main event then. We've got the return of Ian Beefy Smith against Alan McKenna. Alan McKenna, the young and upcoming prospect. 19-0 record, while Ian Smith were obviously well experienced, foreign world champions as well. Just like his brother, Callum Smith, where he's at world level, and there's done big questions asked about Ian Smith during this fight. How much has he got yet? Has Ian Smith got yet in this fight? After that defeat to Chris Eubank Jr. In the rematch, where he got beaten up easily by Chris Eubank Jr. Ian Smith obviously pulled out the Josh Tay fight because due to illness, I think it was. He had an illness, and then he's been having a bit of fitness issues as well, like injury issues as well. So, Callum Smith has already answered his critics, who said he hasn't got much yet. After his win over Joshua Buatsi, it's now all about Ian Smith. What has he got yet? Alan McKenna, very good boxer. He knows how to. Very good front-footed boxer. Can also control the fight. Can also box on the back foot. Alan McKenna. While Ian Smith is more the front-footed fighter, always keeps his gloves up as well when he's coming forward. Ian Smith. It's a hard one. It is quite a hard one because do go for the momentum of Alan McKenna, who's definitely got more than momentum in my opinion. And he's got the ears on his side as well. And fitness on his side, Alan McKenna. Or do you go for Ian Smith? Do I make the same mistake then like I did with Callum Smith, where I thought Buatsi would beat Callum Smith? Because I think Alan McKenna can beat Ian Smith, in my opinion, at the moment. He can beat him. And if Ian Smith does use this fight, I think that's the end of Ian Smith for me. I think Ian Smith should retire if he does use to Alan McKenna. Because he's got nothing yet if he uses Alan McKenna. But I am not going to make the same mistake again like I did with Callum Smith. I just think the experience will count, especially when done the distance as well. And a bit of Tarzans as well. It's obviously something it's in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well. And I think Ian Smith will exit, in my opinion. I think Ian Smith will get the win on points as Alan McKenna. And yes, we will. All the pressure's on Ian Smith. There's no pressure on Alan McKenna because I don't think people will go for Alan McKenna to win. They will probably go for the more experienced fighter in Ian Smith, who's been at world level, former world champion as well. So I think Eubank Smith will get the win on points and Sam Matena, in my opinion. And finally, on to the big one then. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. 12 3-minute rounds. Obviously, there's a rehydration clause in the fight. I've already given my opinions on that. I think that's very dangerous in my opinion. And that's well in favour of Conor Benn, in my opinion. So that's probably a tick on that one. Chris Eubank Jr. has definitely won the build-up, as always, in terms of the mind games already. It appears more than sure. The press conferences as well, smashing Conor Benn around the head as well. Typical Chris Eubank Jr. style. Chatting with Eddie Hearn as well at the press conference as well. The chat of Edos as well. Chris Eubank Jr. Let's be real, man. Chris Eubank Jr. He kills the press conference, man. He knows how to kill it, man. He knows how to take control of the press conference. He's the best seller. He is the best seller for me. This is why he's pay-per-view. Chris Eubank Jr. He sells, man. He does sell with his build-up as well. the Eubank Smith one where he's pretty cutting the steak. That oh my god, that did get me though. That did get me, to be fair. And this fight's only happening because of the fathers. Let's be real. And let's be real. I don't like this fight. I don't like this fight. Weight deficient for a reason for me. There's weight deficient for a reason. Conor Benn has still not clarified why he failed 2 drug tests, and we're still here. Then. And I am not interested in Conor Benn saying, "Oh, I've been cleared by the WBC, blah blah blah, and I've been cleared by National Anti-Doping Panel, blah blah blah." Conor Benn has still not faced strict liability. He hasn't. He's still not faced strict liability, and he's had 2 fights in America where he was avoiding the British border control at 151 and 154. And he looked twats. Conor Benn has looked twats in them 2 fights. And it's going to be quite interesting how he's going to make 160. How he's going to look like in 160. What I will say though, Conor Benn is going to have the power advantage, in my opinion. He will have power, Conor Benn. He's going to be similar to Eubank Smith, where he's going to be the front-footed fighter. Looking to cut off the win. Trap Eubank Jr. in the corner, and that's Conor Benn's best chance of winning this fight for me. But for me, weight deficient for a reason, and I've already seen the press conference and the Piers Morgan show. Chris Eubank Jr., you're so bitter, too big for Conor Benn. I know Conor Benn is now standing up in physique shape in terms of training camp and all that. But Conor Benn, he cannot expect to go back to 147 after this fight, even if he wins or loses. Whether he wins or loses and the rematch, etc., etc. He said, I won't go back to 147. Is he having a laugh? You're going to use all that pounds from 160 to 147. Conor, you are done enough trained when you go back to 147. Albeit, Conor Benn is a natural 147. That's where we see him. That's where he's best at. When he's explosive, he's very explosive at 147. He's looked twice at 151 and 154. There's Pete Dobson and a recall, I think it was. But how can Conor Benn say that? Oh, I'll just have this fight. I'll just have this fight at 160, and then I'll just go back down to 147. That's a killer, man. That is killing you. Using all them pounds. And for me, your career is already done. Your career is already done before it started. Failing the 2 drug tests, going back down to 147 from 160, that can't happen. I'm sorry, it can't. You cannot do that and expect to be a world champion. And if you do become a world champion at 147, then your opponent wasn't done. Let's be real. Let's be real about it. And this fight for me shouldn't be happening anyways. Conor Benn has still not answered still not answered to his has still not answered to his failed trust test for me. He hasn't. He hasn't, people. I know I've banged on about this for 2 years. I'm still sticking by the same opinion. It's a money fight. It's a money fight. It's a nostalgia fight versus the fathers. Both of them are nowhere near the fathers' levels. Nowhere near the fathers. Chris Eubank Jr. should be fighting for a world title. But let's be real, Chris Eubank Jr. only cares about money. About the money fights. What's going to pay him the big brownies and hearts. Well, Conor Benn, to be fair to Conor Benn though, he does care about the world title fights. But he's taking this fight because the legacy, etc., etc. And there's obviously bad blood between the two of them as well. And let's be real, I will say though, the build-up has been even more better than the first fight, before the first fight got postponed and cancelled. It's been even better, the build-up, because of what's happened in the last 2 years, because of Conor Benn. And Chris Eubank Jr., let's be real, he is the greatest seller, probably, we've got in boxing at the moment. Knows how to sell his fights. He knows how to be a wind-up merchant. He rattled Conor Benn. He rattled Eddie Hearn at the press conferences as well. Completely rattled him. And no one, and let's be real, it is quite hard to rattle Eddie Hearn as well. Let's be real. It is quite hard to rattle him as well. So them Meadows were always in the cast as well. But in terms of the fight then, in terms of who will win, my heart wants Chris Eubank Jr. to win, because I do not like trud cheats. I don't like trud cheats in boxing. I always want whoever's failed a trud test in boxing, even if it's years ago, a decade ago, I still want them to fail, because they try to cheat in the sport as well. Chris Eubank Jr., I want him to win. He should be winning, in my opinion. He should be winning because of the weight advantage. Eubank Jr.'s more, I wouldn't say Eubank Jr.'s natural 160. I think his best work is at 168. In my opinion, he's a 168 fighter, but he's at 160. So he does have a bit of a disadvantage. As much he does, he still makes the 160 weight limit. Conor Benn, he's coming up to 160. And that's, for me, taking away Conor Benn's strengths for me. Conor Benn will have more power. It will add more power to him, but it will affect Conor Benn's movement, in my opinion. Because, yes, we will. He got slow at 151 and he got slow at 154, especially with the punch movement as well. It wasn't as explosive that it was at 147 against Chris Algieri and etc. etc. And Chris Eubank Jr., for me, he's more of a volume puncher. I don't think he has power, Chris Eubank Jr. The volume beat Ian Smith. The volume stopped Ian Smith for me. People made excuses about for Ian Smith and that fight, saying, "Oh, it wasn't the best Ian Smith," etc., etc. I'm not having that, to be honest with you. If you're not up to it, you can easily pull out the fight. So I am not accepting them excuses from Ian Smith. I'm not. And that was one of Chris Eubank Jr.'s best performances we've probably seen from him. One of the best career performances from him as well. Terrell Meta, the last fight, he looked good, but he did get caught a few times from Meta, Eubank. And obviously got caught as well, even though I think that was a bit of a headbutt, to be fair. And Chris Eubank Jr., he can easily uppercut Conor Benn. That's going to be one of the key punches, the uppercut for Eubank Jr. when Conor Benn's coming forward. Chris Eubank Jr.'s win IQ and movement is going to be key as well. Chris Eubank Jr. does like to box and move as well. And you know what? I still understand why people are still done for Conor Benn though, because let's be real, Chris Eubank Jr. lost to Ian Smith in the first fight. Ian Smith, who was smaller than Eubank Jr. And Ian Smith knocked him out. Well, he didn't knock him out, he stopped him. And Conor Benn, Conor Benn can easily do that. Because let's be real, he doesn't have power. And Eubank Jr. does not have the chin. He doesn't. So yeah, it shouldn't be a close fight. It shouldn't, but I think it is. I think it is a close fight. I think Eubank Jr. will be relying on doing the distance for me. If Eubank Jr. does the distance, he wins the fight for me. Because he will just outbox Conor Benn in the second half of the fight. Well, and that's where I think Conor Benn will start to be more tired in the second half of the fight, because he's done all out for it in the first 6 rounds, Conor Benn. So that's how I see the fight going. Either Conor Benn inside 6 rounds by KO stoppage, or Chris Eubank Jr. On points. And for me, Conor Benn shouldn't be winning this fight. He shouldn't. If Conor Benn does win this fight, Eubank Jr. should announce his retirement straight afterwards for me, because he cannot use someone coming up to weight divisions, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. As much as I do think Conor Benn's a cheat, but I'm not moving on from it, because he's still not answered. Conor Benn, he's still not been cleared in my eyes, because he's not first straight out of Bertie. But same time, you just have to move on now. You do have to move on, and that is for behind the scenes. Yes, we will now. But yes, we will. Conor Benn's not in that. It's actually not in that ban, because I actually think Conor Benn has been cleared now. So that is the end of that. Unfortunately for me, as much as I think Conor Benn's a cheat. But in terms of my prediction, I'm gonna go for the more natural fighter. The way I am going for Eubank. I am going for Eubank Jr. to win on points. He's already got an advantage. He's already won the mind games. Because he's always going to win the mind games, Eubank. He always wins the mind games straight away. He always wins the build-ups as well. It's just all about in the win. And yes, we will. I don't wear either boxer. In terms of boxing ability-wise, I don't wear either. I don't think they're anywhere near the father's levels for me. I think Conor Benn's had an easy resume so far, in my opinion. Chris Eubank Jr. has had a better resume, defeating Eubank Smith. Would Conor Benn defeat Eubank Smith? I'm actually not sure, to be honest with you. It'd be probably a pick-and fight, Smith-Benn. But Eubank, he beat him. He beat Eubank Smith. Eubank Jr. has had the better resume all day long over Conor Benn. My frustration is why Eubank Jr. has not fought for a world title for me. Especially the middleweight world titles as well. There's only Johnny Beck and Carlos Adames where I think them two would probably beat Eubank. The fight for Eubank for me was an Yara fight. I think Eubank Jr. would beat Yara, in my opinion. Yara is 40 plus years old. And Eubank would take advantage of that, in my opinion, if he did decide to fight him. But also, Eubank, he's again, like I said earlier, he's a super middleweight fighter for me. He's a 168 fighter. And if this was at 168, Eubank, then I would have went for Eubank Jr. to knock Conor Benn out. I would have. So, but I think Eubank outboxes Conor Benn in the second half of the fight. I think Conor Benn will definitely have the first half of the fight for me. Especially if he doesn't get Chris Eubank Jr. out there, then that's going to suit Eubank Jr. in terms of second half of the fight. I actually think it might be close and store cards. It wouldn't shock me at all if it is close and store cards. But I think Eubank Jr. will win on points. I don't like the fight personally. I didn't want to see the fight in the first place just because it's weight divisions for a reason. But at the same time, I understand it. It's a family legacy, all that. Casual fans will want to see it. This is a event about casual fans. Casual fans do not know Patera versus Bivol, but they do know Eubank and Benn. And this is going to do even more pay-per-view buys than Patera before, undisputed. I know that is completely won. That shouldn't be happening. But these guys are recognisable names. Before and Patera aren't recognisable at all. And the casual fans don't know them too. The purest bottom fans will... If I'm obviously a purest bottom fan, and I'm still paying to watch Patera versus Bivol Trilogy over this fight all day long. All day long for me. But it's what it is. Obviously, it's behind the reasons why it's happening. And it's just a money fight. Money fight for Eubank. Conor Benn. For Conor Benn, it's all about the Edsy. And all the press is on Eubank for me. Eubank Jr., he's the one who needs to win this fight. Conor Benn can do it then, let's be real. But can he do it then? Because even one fight at 160, you're using all them pounds to do it back down to 147. And for me, that is very worrying about Conor Benn's career, the way Conor Benn's career has been handled for me from his team, in my opinion. Especially when his trainer has injected these drugs into Conor Benn as well. It's just completely won for me. It is completely won. So Conor Benn's team has mistreated him, let's be real, mishandled him. Because why are you taking a fight at 160? It really is shocking for me. If Conor Benn goes down to 154, again, he looked trash, didn't he? Against Pete Dobson at 154. He looked slow. I've seen McClellan move better than Conor Benn at 154. So, for me, Conor Benn's career is already done. As much whether he wins or loses this fight, the only saviour for Conor Benn, if he wins this fight, he has to stay at 160. He has to stay at 160, Conor Benn. Either way. He does. He has to stay at 160. He's got no chance of going back down to 147 and becoming world champion. Absolutely no chance. Imagine the pounds you have to use for that. Eubank Jr., he should retire if he loses this fight. But I'm going to go for Eubank Jr. to win on points for me. And they are my predictions for the Eubank Jr. vs Conor Benn card. Feel free to leave your thoughts and predictions down below in the comments. And touch wood for the casual fans, it goes ahead. Second time round. I know it's 2 weeks early, and I am tempting fate by doing that. But that's my thoughts on all the fights, my predictions on all the fights. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. And take care, stay safe, see you later, and see you on the next one. Who will win the fight then? Will it be Chris Eubank Jr., the expected winner, or will it be Conor Benn? Or will Conor Benn get a win over Eubank? And who knows, we may get Eubank vs Conor Benn as well. This to continue the EDC even more, potentially. But take care, stay safe, see you later. Feel free to get your predictions down below in the comments for all the fights down below. Take care, see you later.